Lessons to keep calm. Life has a way of testing us through challenges, unexpected storms, and moments when it feels like everything is falling apart. In those moments, your strength isn't measured by how loud you are, but by how calm you can remain. Calmness is not weakness, it's power under control. Today, I want to share with you 5 lessons to keep calm. Lessons that can transform your life when the world feels too heavy. Lesson 1, breathe before you react. The first lesson is simple yet powerful. Breathe. When someone pushes your buttons, when life throws chaos at your door, your instinct is to react. But the pause, the breath, is where wisdom lives. One deep breath can shift your perspective. It creates space between emotion and action, between anger and peace. Remember, calmness starts in your lungs, not in your fists. Lesson 2, detach from what you cannot control. One of the greatest sources of stress is trying to control things that are not yours to control. You can't control the weather, the economy, or how someone else chooses to behave. But you can control your response. Peace comes when you release the illusion of control. When you say, "This is not mine to carry, this is not mine to fix." That surrender is not giving up, it's choosing serenity. Lesson 3, practice the power of silence. In a noisy world, silence is a gift. Not every insult deserves a reply. Not every conflict needs your voice. Sometimes your calm silence speaks louder than words ever could. Silence doesn't mean weakness, it means discipline. It means you're choosing peace over drama. Lesson 4, anchor yourself in gratitude. When the storm rages, gratitude is the anchor. Focus on what is working, what is present, what is good. Gratitude shifts your energy from restlessness to stillness. You cannot be thankful and angry at the same time. Gratitude forces you to stand in the light, even when shadows are near. Lesson 5, trust the bigger picture. Finally, calmness comes from trust. Trust that the universe, life, God, whatever name you give it, has a bigger plan than the one you see. Sometimes delays are protection. Sometimes rejection is direction. Sometimes the storm is the preparation for the calm after. When you trust the bigger picture, you no longer panic. You walk with peace, knowing that everything is unfolding as it should. There is a moment between what happens to us and how we respond. That moment is so small, most people miss it. But inside that tiny space is the power to change everything. That space begins with a breath. A single, conscious breath can mean the difference between destroying a relationship with words you can never take back or preserving it with silence. It can mean the difference between panic spiraling out of control or grounding yourself in calm. Think about it. Every time you face conflict, your body reacts before your mind does. Your heart races, your voice rises, your muscles tighten, and suddenly you are no longer in control. Your emotions are. But when you take a deep breath, when you inhale slowly and let oxygen flow through your body, you are telling yourself, I am safe. I am in control. I choose peace over chaos. That breath creates distance between the situation and your reaction, and that distance is where wisdom lives. So many people live life on autopilot, reacting instantly to whatever comes their way. Someone says something offensive, they lash out. A problem shows up, they panic. A delay happens, they lose patience. But calmness does not come from reacting instantly. Calmness comes from pausing, breathing, and allowing yourself to think clearly before making a move. Imagine how many arguments, how many regrets, how many broken moments could have been avoided if only we had stopped to breathe first. When you breathe before you react, you are not just calming your body, you are calming your spirit. Breath is life. From the moment you were born, the first thing you did was inhale. Breath has always been your anchor. Yet most of us forget to use it consciously. In stressful situations, your breath becomes shallow, rushed, and uneven. But when you choose to slow it down, to inhale deeply, to exhale slowly, you are reclaiming control over your state of mind. You are telling your nervous system, it's okay. We don't have to fight. We don't have to run. We can stay calm. I want you to picture a time in your life when you reacted too quickly. Maybe you snapped at someone you love. Maybe you made a decision out of anger or fear. Maybe you let your emotions take the wheel and afterwards you felt regret. Now imagine if in that very moment you had stopped, closed your eyes, taken one slow, deep breath, and allowed yourself to respond with intention rather than impulse. How different would that moment have been? How much peace could you have preserved? Breathing before reacting is not about ignoring your emotions. It is about honoring them without letting them control you. When you breathe, you give your emotions a chance to pass through instead of explode outward. You might still feel angry, sad, or frustrated, but now you are approaching the situation with clarity, not chaos. You are no longer drowning in the emotion. You are floating above it. Life will test you again and again. People will say things to trigger you. Circumstances will arise that frustrate you. But every time you will have a choice. React instantly and add fuel to the fire, or breathe deeply and choose calm. That choice will determine not just your peace of mind, but the quality of your relationships, your decisions, and your future. The power of breath has been known for centuries. Warriors used it before battle to steady their focus. Teachers use it in classrooms to guide children through frustration. Doctors tell patients to breathe deeply before procedures to ease fear. And you, in your daily life, can use it to keep calm in moments of conflict, stress, or uncertainty. It only takes seconds. When someone cuts you off in traffic, instead of honking or shouting, breathe. When your child is screaming and your patience is running thin, breathe. When an email arrives that makes your heart sink, breathe. When a loved one says something hurtful, breathe. These small pauses may not change the situation, but they will change how you experience it. And often, when your energy shifts, the situation itself begins to shift. Breathing before reacting is a practice, a discipline. At first, it may feel unnatural. You may still feel the urge to yell, to argue, to defend yourself. But with time, the pause will become your strength. You will start to notice that you don't carry as much tension in your body. You will notice that conflicts resolve faster. You will notice that people respond to your calm with calmness of their own. Your breath in those moments becomes not just your peace, but a gift of peace to everyone around you. So the next time you feel your blood rising, the next time your chest tightens, the next time you are ready to snap, remember this truth. Calm begins with a pause and a deep breath. One of the greatest sources of human suffering is the attempt to control what was never meant to be ours to control. We spend endless energy trying to fix people who do not want to be fixed, trying to change circumstances that are already written, trying to force outcomes that are simply not meant for us. And in that struggle, we lose our peace. Calmness comes when you learn to detach from what is not in your hands. Think about the times you've worried yourself sick over something you could do nothing about. Maybe it was the weather ruining your plans. Maybe it was the opinion of someone who chose not to see your worth. Maybe it was a rejection, a delay, or a setback that left you questioning your place in the world. You carried it heavily, turning it over and over in your mind, as though replaying it could somehow rewrite it. But it never did. All it did was rob you of sleep, of joy, of clarity. The truth is, no matter how strong, talented, or intelligent you are, you cannot bend life to your will. There will always be people who misunderstand you. There will always be outcomes you cannot predict. There will always be storms you cannot stop from coming. And if you make your peace dependent on everything going your way, you will never truly have peace. Calmness is born when you release what you cannot hold. Detachment does not mean you stop caring. It does not mean you become cold, indifferent, or unfeeling. It means you learn the difference between what belongs to you and what doesn't. It means you take responsibility for your actions, but you let go of the illusion that you can control everyone else's. You can love someone deeply, but you cannot control their choices. You can work hard and prepare wisely, but you cannot control every outcome. You can speak your truth, but you cannot control how others receive it. When you finally accept this, you discover a lightness you've never known. Imagine carrying a bag full of rocks everywhere you go. Heavy, exhausting, slowing you down with every step. That is what holding on to things outside your control feels like. But the moment you decide to set that bag down, you feel lighter, freer, stronger. That's what detachment gives you, the release of unnecessary weight. Sometimes detaching means stepping back from relationships where you are trying too hard to be understood. Sometimes it means surrendering the need to know exactly how the future will unfold. Sometimes it means saying, I have done my part. The rest is not up to me. And there is power in that. Because when you let go, you are not giving up. You are giving space.